Alright, so another virtually guaranteed thing to come up somewhere in the non-calculator paper is powers. And the reason why it's going to come up in the non-calculator, because if you have a calculator, just stick it in. So it kind of defeats the point of kind of giving you a powers question. But anyway, it goes, look, here's, so just a quick refresher, and particularly the fractional powers, which a lot of people find, well, forget more often than not. So okay, so you're given these three things, 27 to the power of 2 over 3, 64 to the power of 1 over 3, and 4 to the power of 3 over 2. So, you know, and you've got to put these three in the size of smallest to biggest. So basically what you need to know is what the hell these come out as. So this is where your knowledge is going to be tested. So here's the first thing. So you've got to understand, say if you got 25 to half, yeah? When fractional powers mean roots. So when you have 1 over 2, that literally means square root of 25. That's what that means, which is obviously 5. So 36 to a half, that means square root of 36, which will give you 6. Obviously minus 6 too, but don't worry too much on that powers questions. Okay, you can get 8 to the 1 over 3. You'll notice I'm only talking about 1 over stuff. So when it's 1 over 3, it's saying the third root of 8. By the way, square roots are all little 2's, you just don't write them. So the cube root of 8 is saying what number, if I times itself 3 times, will I get 8? Well, the answer is 2 times 2 times 2. So, you know, the answer to that is 2. So you gotta understand how that works. You know, if it also, I guess, technically, what else could you get? Once I'm doing this in my head, you know, 16 to the 4. Very unlikely you're ever going to get that. But that would just mean the 4th root of 16, which is just saying give me a number which if I times by itself 4 times, gives me 16, 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Okay? So hopefully that makes sense. Well, once you know that, you can actually look at this 64 to the 1 over 3 and say, ah, that's the third root of 64. That means I'm looking for a number which times by itself 3 times to give me 64. Now remember, if it's a non-calculator paper, believe me, the number here isn't going to be something like 17.2. It's not even going to be 7, because 7 times 7 times 7 is long. So, you know, if you're ever unsure, don't think, oh, I don't know what number times by itself 3 times to give me that. Just think of them. Literally go through them. It can't be 1 times 1 times 1, that will give you 1. It's not 2 times 2 times 2. That would be 8. Not 3 times 3 times 3, 27. It's 4, basically. It's 4 times 4 times 4. So it's never going to be very hard. So we know that the answer to this is 4. Okay, so that one's sorted. So now the last thing I need to show you, or remind you anyway, is how to do it when it's not 1 over something. And this comes from the logic of you needing to know this rule. So if you got given this thing, x to the 4 in bracket thing, remember, the way that works is you have to multiply those two numbers together. It's not the best way I like it explained, but, you know, I give you this question based on, I hope you actually somewhat remember powers. If you don't, there's videos. So that's x to the 8. So you've got to multiply numbers like that. Well, by the same logic, yeah, now let's have a look at this. We're going to use this rule and this rule, these rules combined, and that's how you deal with these 2 over 3s and stuff like that. So you have to understand this. So 27, 2 over 3. Can you see it can be written like this? Oh, no, that was wrong. So that would be a valid way, because think about that. If I times 2 by a third, I'll get 2 over 3, because we now have to multiply. So that's one way I could write it. The other way I could also write it, by the way, because it doesn't matter which way order, is I could go 27 to the third to the 2. Now imagine, you gotta, both of these will give you the right answer, by the way. But in a non-calculator paper, only one is going to be sort of doable. Firstly, do you guys know what 27 squared is without a calculator? That's going to take a lot of work. Yeah, so the best way to kind of go about it is look at this. So you find out what 27 to a third is. Remember, 27 to a third means the cube root of 27. So it's saying which number times by itself 3 times to give you 27. The answer is 3. 3 times 3 times 3. So what you can then do, when you know that, you can literally replace that bit with a 3. So then it becomes 3 squared, and that's 9. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, let's go for another one. Again, finally the last one, 4 3 over 2. There's two ways of writing this. You can go 4 to the 3, and then go half. And you can go 4 to the half, and then take that to the power of 3. The bottom one's actually easier, because 4 to the half just means square root of 4, which is 2. So you just go 2 to the 3, and that the answer is 8. So there you go. So the smallest is actually, in fact, this one here, then it's this one, then it's this one. So you should write the answer, the way you write your answers, give like 64 to the third, 4 to the 3 over 2, and then write 27 2 to the 3. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, if any part of this, as I was going through this video, was like, oh, he went through that too quick, or I don't get that, that's basically telling you, look, your powers is a little bit weak and sloppy. Sort it out and basically get on the videos, practice a little bit, look at the revision guide, because it's going to come up.